everybody, welcome back to the Peebs channel. Today I've got a video for you that no one has ever thought to do in their entire life. Talk about the best games of 2022. Alright? Only a little bit late. Only a little bit late. Almost every single year I decide this is the year I'm gonna do my top 10 best and worst games on my Peanut Butter Gamer channel. That's my other channel if you're not familiar, which most of you probably are, to be honest. But once again, it fell through. I just had so many other things going on, I didn't get around to it. But I figured why not do it on this channel? I can do it a little bit more unscripted. I can use some of the thoughts and ideas I had from the video that I didn't actually get around to. And hey, everybody wins. I'm not really doing like a top 10. In fact, I didn't even have 10 personally. I thought the year started off really strong, and then as it went on, I personally became a little less interested in the stuff coming out. But there was still a lot of really good stuff to talk about. If I don't talk about your favorite game, it's probably because I didn't play it myself, or I hate it, and I hate you. Those are the only two options. In particular, I'm not a God of War person. I've just never really cared about it, although I know people who say it's insanely good. And also, I don't really give a crap about that freaking cat game. Hit me up when it's a dog. That's when I'll be interested. Although, to be honest, it would probably just be like a dog wandering around whining at people to give them food. So that actually might not be that fun of a game. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. There's no numbers. I got Switch Sports on here. What? What? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm sorry. I know. But Switch Sports. This one's weird because I feel like I could put it on the best and the worst list. Just depending on what kind of mood I was in. I could come up with a lot of different complaints about it. I mean, for one thing, there's an insanely low amount of games, especially when you compare it to one of my favorite games ever, weirdly. Wii Sports Resort, which has like, I think 12 games, and they didn't even have them all released when they first came out. Friggin' golf wasn't in the game at launch. It actually just launched like a few days ago. I don't even care anymore, but I'm still putting it on my favorite games. Also, two of the games are like the same. There's tennis and badminton, which are, you know, controlled in the exact same way. I don't like the aesthetics of Switch Sports versus Wii Sports Resort and the freaking island. Bring Woohoo Island back! Nintendo, what the frick? But I still like it. And it has soccer. I like it when you get the ball and you go, and then you get to run around the field. You know, I just like arcade sports games. Okay, this one could have been way better, but it still had some stuff in there that I enjoyed, so I'm putting it on here. It's more of an honorable mention than anything, though. My thought for the top 10 best and worst list I was going to do on Peanut Butter Gamer was that I was going to put Switch Sports on, like, number 10 on the best and the worst, but, you know, that didn't happen, so. Honorable mention, Switch Sports. If they had put basketball on there, I probably would have put it at number 1, but it didn't have that, so sorry. Also, Switch Sports. Moving on, we've got a game that I saw getting a decent amount of love when it first came out. I was kind of expecting that it would get some love on at least some best games of the year videos or something, but I don't think I saw a single other person mention it. Iron Lung. Iron Lung is a very short horror indie game. You can absolutely finish it in one sitting, which is something that I appreciate. The story is actually surprisingly complicated if you want to bother looking into all of it. It takes place in the future. Humanity has expanded across the galaxy, moved to a bunch of different planets and stuff, but all of a sudden something that's called the Quiet Rapture, all the planets that humans exist on just disappear. Oh yeah, and also there's like blood on the moon. It doesn't really make sense, but it's kind of cryptic and creepy and weird. Basically, they're trying to figure out what the heck's going on, so you gotta go down into this moon, the moon that has all the blood on it now. It's called the Blood Moon. I don't actually know if that's what it's called, but I'm gonna call it the Blood Moon. You actually play as a convict, which is part of what's really creepy about it, is that they started just sending criminals, like convicted criminals, to the Blood Moon, one after the other, to just die until hopefully one of them figures out what the heck's happening, and if you do, I guess you get released or something. So, you know, kind of a raw deal, but maybe there's some hope at the end. Again, it is a horror game. It's not a typical horror game, though. The whole game takes place inside this little ship. There's no windows. You can't see out what's happening at all. And you move around and try to navigate the crevices and try not to run into the walls and explode.
That's probably a good sound, right?
all while taking like pictures and then like going to your monitor to see what the pictures were. Sometimes you might get some insanely creepy looking ones, and it all builds up to a very satisfying ending. Long story short, I highly recommend it. I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't get any love from people at the end of the year, but to be fair, it is a very small, short indie game, so I guess it's not that surprising that people forgot about it, but they shouldn't. Go check out Iron Lung. Up next, I've got the Cuphead DLC. What's it called again? It's got the girl in it. The Delicious Last Course. I just remembered that myself, didn't look it up, and it's funny because it's DLC, Delicious Last Course. Get it? I don't. Hey, did you like Cuphead? Well, there's more of it. This is more of it. It's Cuphead, more of it. That's what it should be called. Back in the day when Jeff and I were still doing PV and Jeff on the Let's Play channel, we played all the way through Cuphead. I think it was actually probably our most successful series we ever did. People really, really liked it. It's a very, very fun game to watch because the visuals are just so beautiful. You don't really get to appreciate it while you're playing because the game's so freaking hard. But we actually did go all the way through it. We beat it. It was a lot of fun. And when the DLC came out that we had both been looking forward to for a while, I played it on Jeff's live stream. Go check out Jeff on Twitch, by the way. It's twitch.tv/basshamster.tfg. We played it together. It was insanely long. We're doing some kind of damage.
Yeah! Let's go!
We got it!
We did it! Oh wait,
Oh,
it's still
alive.
going!
No!
It was a bait! It was a fucking bait!
It was!
Are you kidding me? We gotta kill the guy too!
Come on! What was that?
We like took our hands off the controllers like, yeah, we got it!
It literally said like
wow.
we got him! Come on! I think I got drunk.
Wow, wow.
Awooga! I want to see her, dude. I'm turning into a furry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Cuphead, the DLC, it was a good time. Cuphead, Delicious Last Course DLC. I got drunk.
You're right, toast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually toasty. Is actually what it is.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say it, but God knows.
Him.
Just
He's
get him
wrong.
out.
He's wrong, bro. He's wrong. Toasty, bro. Duck. Duck and toasty. That's the only thing we have to remember.
Oh, damn. Is that all?
That's it.
It was a good time. Up next, I have a game that I really, really loved. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, or the alternate title, Kirby and the Vehicular Manslaughter. I just realized I accidentally just wrote down Kirby. Freaking Kirby. It's a knockoff version. This game was insanely good. I actually hadn't been interested in a Kirby game in a while. I really loved Kirby and the freaking Superstar. Kirby Superstar, the legend of this, God, mixing all my childhood games up. I really loved Kirby Superstars when I was a kid. Me and my brother would always play that game. But other than that, and maybe like the original Kirby, I don't know. I never really cared about it. I'm not saying there weren't good Kirby games. It just fell off my radar, I guess. So this was the first Kirby game that really interested me in a long time. And I'm happy to say it lived up to the hype, at least for me and apparently everyone else, because it actually did get a lot of love from what I've seen. Of course, the game is cute and colorful and fun, but there's also a lot of really good abilities, which is always the best thing in a Kirby game. There's so many good ones. There's like fire, that one was good. Of course, there's always sword. I love in this game, you can freaking charge the sword. Like, crotch shot! Boom! Although, honestly, my favorite one and probably the best one out of all the ones that I used was just the gun. It's just Kirby with a gun. Kirby just running around shooting people, little dogs that are asleep, and he's just like, bah, 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 bah. It's actually kind of savage. And of course, you can upgrade all your abilities, which is also insanely fun to have some like progression in a Kirby game. I really liked that. Just murder every single dog waiting in line for a roller coaster ride. Screw those guys. I'm sure they were evil. It's kind of like a stereotype joke, like, oh, Mario's actually the evil one, but I don't know. I think it actually is true in this game. Kirby is pretty evil. I mean, the amount of times that he just walks into a room and there's little cute dudes just enjoying their life and he's like, die! It's actually insane. I swear half the enemies aren't even attacking you and you just run up and kill them. But whatever, it's fun. I like to kill. Play Kirby. The abilities get insane after a while too. It's been a little while since I played, but I remember there's one ability where Kirby basically turns into like a god and he's just floating around, all powerful, and then he just explodes in this like nuclear explosion. But probably my favorite part of the game is just the Waddle Dee town. I'm not much of a completionist myself. I just like to play until I have fun and then I quit. So I love it when a game, especially a game like Kirby that's kind of easy really, you can just like walk through the level, gives you some kind of incentive to collect everything. And that's what Waddle Dee town is. As you're playing through the game, you collect all the different stuff, and the more things you collect and the more Waddle Dees you save, the more Waddle Dees move into the town, and the more it expands, and there's more things you can do. I love the little freaking toys you can collect and put into your room, and it even offers like mini games. We did an entire video actually on this channel of me just raging at the mini games. Which was pretty fun. I especially like the ball one that you roll around on the thing. It seems like it's gonna be really easy at first, but it gets insanely difficult as you go on. Mouthful mode. I didn't know that I needed Kirby to turn into a locker cabinet, but I did need that. I actually didn't really have lived before I saw Kirby turn into a stairs. And now my life's finally complete. And so is this segment.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
All right, next we have a game that, is this cheating? Does this even count? I don't really care. I'm putting it on here anyway. Project Zomboy. This is probably coming out of left field a little bit for most people in my audience because I never talk about games like this, but I freaking love Project Zomboy. Technically, it came out like a decade ago or something. I tried it a long time ago. I thought it would be fun. All I did was like run around and die. I just kept running, just running and running and running from the zombies. I'm on a street just running. If I keep running down this street, eventually I'll find something else I never did, and then I died. I thought this game is dumb. I turned it off, and you know, that was that. But recently, this year, I believe, they updated it to this very new and improved version, which is, I'm just gonna count that as this year, you know? Screw it, it's my channel. Get out of here. No, don't. Subscribe. I really love zombie games and the whole zombie genre, zombie movies, pretty much anything zombies. And this game is, I don't think it's even close, the best piece of zombie media, movies, games, anything that I've ever experienced. It's basically just a zombie survivor simulator. I wouldn't call it a simulator game, but I mean, you could call it that. You have to eat, you have to drink, you have to live, you only have one life. For starters, you die, you lose everything. I love games that have stakes like that. I mean, it's the entire reason why me and my brother back in the day came up with a hardcore series. I love playing a game knowing that you could just lose it all, because that means everything you do really matters. There's some nights where I'll open up Project Zomboid and play and just never leave my base, just walking around reading and like building more walls and stuff. I won't even kill a single zombie. I won't even see one. I just love trying to live out in the zombie apocalypse. It's really fun to play on multiplayer, and I did play a lot with my friends this year when the update first came out. But since then, I've just been playing it on my own. I just like build little bases, find random places. I found this freaking crack house meth lab place. I turned that into a base, survived for almost an entire year. Go out in the wilderness, build a freaking log cabin and fish, and then just like never even see any zombies because you're so far out in the middle of nowhere, you don't even never remember that they're even there. I feel like if I could make a video on literally anything I wanted and people would watch it, I would just make like 8 videos on Project Zomboid, but I feel like my audience doesn't really care about it, so I just play it all night on my own. This is a little bit of a tangent, but my wife and I played through all of the Walking Dead games. I'd played them before, but she hadn't seen them, so we played through all of them. That was so much fun that we decided to create a Clementine character in the game, which, you know, I would recommend because it was pretty fun. But maybe don't do that because then she finally died after like 9 months, and I was actually legitimately depressed for like 3 hours after that. I'm sorry, Clementine. I'm sorry that you had to die because I was eating jelly beans inside of the car and I didn't know how you could press escape to cancel the eating animation, and the zombies were coming because that alarm was over there. There was still something clothes and then the zombies were coming, but I thought they had stopped. The zombie comes, she gets out of the car, gets bit, and then dies. I'm really sorry that that happened. You died eating jelly beans. Alright, before we move on to my #1 game of the year, I want to go over some games that I wanted to play that didn't. I call this segment Games I Wanted to Play But Didn't because I was just so busy playing Project Zomboid. Actually, I played just an absolute metric crap ton of Project Zomboid this year. Oh, I mean, I was too busy making YouTube videos. I wanted to play Tunic! I actually really wanted to play this game. I'm still going to. I'm actually planning on playing it this month. People say it's like a Zelda kind of clone kind of thing, but way more than that. I don't really know because I haven't played it, so I'll have to find out. Looks fun though. There's that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. I really wanted to play that. Looked pretty cool. Saw some gameplay of it. I loved the TMNT beat 'em up games as a kid. The NES one that was an arcade port, as well as of course Turtles in Time. Me and my brother played the crap out of those when we were young. So I'm definitely gonna get around to playing this at some point. Probably. Then there was Splatoon 3. I actually literally have that game. I was gonna play it with Toasty, but then I just never did, so sorry, Toasty. I like the part where they have the lockers and you can customize it. That's basically the reason I wanted to play. I wanted to get a locker. Live Alive! I heard a lot of really, really good things about this. I actually just got this game for Christmas, so I'm definitely gonna play this one. As well as Cult of the Lamb. I really wanted to try this game. I saw Jeff playing it on stream a lot. It looked really, really fun. You're like a lamb and you like kill stuff and create a cult. Sounds cool. I should probably try that sometime. But I might not. That's life, I guess. On to the #1 game, it's freaking Elden Ring. Big surprise, Elden Ring. It's almost like everybody else put that as their #1 game for the year also. But there's a good reason, because it's freaking amazing. Again, it's not the kind of game that I usually talk about in my YouTube videos. Kind of do like Nintendo games, Goodwill games, just like random stuff that like seems like, I don't know. I don't usually talk about these big games that everyone else is talking about. But that doesn't mean that I don't play them. I've always loved the Dark Souls games, or the Souls games, even back as far as the original Demon Souls game on the PS3. Was really, really bad at that game, by the way, when it came out. Which is so funny because I played the remake on the PS5 when it came out, and it seems so much easier now after playing a lot of the other Dark Souls games and stuff. But this is a really good port, by the way. If you've never played Demon Souls and you have a PS5, check that game out. Also, there's a great game called Elden Ring that I was talking about, so we can talk about that. Can you tell I'm not used to doing these rambly videos where I talk about games unscripted? Yeah, I'm not used to doing that. Subscribe. Maybe I'll get better. It's like Dark Souls if it went open world. Everything's going open world now. Mario kind of went open world. Zelda went open world. Sonic went open world. What are we gonna get next? Freaking Mario Party open world. It's the big game Charlie Brown open world. Animal Crossing open world. Your town isn't a town, it's the whole world. Whoa! I wish they'd make like a Wii Sports game, but instead of like the stupid one that we got that I put on my best games list, they made a game more like Go Vacation. Like Go Vacation, but made by Nintendo, so it was actually better than Go Vacation, because Go Vacation isn't really that good. I just like the concept of it. If Nintendo made a Go Vacation, that would be so Anyways, let's go back to Elden Ring. The open world in Elden Ring is insane. It's so freaking beautiful. I'll just stop while I'm playing sometimes and look around, just so I can see what I'm running around in. It's like you're running around in a freaking painting. And the world felt so huge, and it was a big mind blow moment when the map expands and it's like, wait, there's more? And then there's more even past that. Spoiler alert. It just keeps getting bigger. It's absolutely nuts. And at no point does the world feel boring or bland. I can think of an open world game that I played before, like freaking Far Cry 4, I think it was. And I mean, sure, the gameplay's fun, I guess, and the world is big and all that stuff, but like I'm just running around and there's just nothing out there. What? There's just nothing. This world is so big, but I can't remember any single part of it because it all looks the same and there's really nothing to do. Elden Ring is not like that. Like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go over here, but then you see this thing over here, so you gotta go over here, and then, oh, I gotta do this and go over there. You're in some lava place, then you're up on the snow mountain, then you're up down in some freaking spirit world fighting a giant ghost goat. Then you just riding your horse casually, and then all of a sudden, oh shit! And then you find some chill, creepy dancing ladies.
It's a party.
The more you play this game, the more rewarding it is. If you just want to beat up some cool bosses, it's got that. If you want to figure out what the lore is, it's got that. It's got some insanely deep, crazy lore. If you want to do some side quests, I mean, they're a little cryptic, but you can find them and figure them out. It's got that. I just like that nothing is handed to you. Even the story isn't handed to you. You have to actually put some effort into figuring it out, which makes all the stuff that you actually accomplish in the game all that more rewarding. One of the many dialogues about the game that I saw people talking about is, oh, the game's too hard, it needs an easy mode. Personally, I would just defer to like whatever the developers of the game want the game to be, and that's how the game should be. But I think it's funny because there actually are a lot of easy mode options in Elden Ring. You can summon ghost NPCs to help you in a lot of different areas, including bosses. You can do multiplayer, which I actually haven't even done. I don't even know how it works. Even just using ranged weapons or ranged spells is basically an easy mode in half of the fights. And you can even use these great rune buffs, which gives you like insane buffs. There's like a bunch of them. I just use the first one because I mean, like, hey, you want your stats to go up? Yeah, I do. I want that. Give me that buff. But what I like about those easy modes, as I'm calling them, is that you still have to earn all of them yourself. If you want the game to be easier, you gotta earn it. And you also have to figure out what the items you get even do. Because some of them are insanely useful that will help you out a lot, and then others just like turn you into a bush, which, you know, I guess it could be useful. I don't know. I'm not creative enough to figure out how to make that useful, but I'm sure some people have. Or, you know, if the game's still too hard for you after all that, you can just get the giant bubble horn. So yeah, those were my favorite games of the year. Let me know, did I miss anything? Is there anything I should play that I didn't talk about? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button if you want to see more rainbowy video game videos like this, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. I'll see you guys next time.